This episode is proudly sponsored by the Fairfax Football Academy, the best QB training and development in all of Northern Virginia. Follow on IG at Fairfax Football Academy. You'll be happy that you did. All right, welcome back to All Hitches, America's #1 football podcast covering Northern Virginia. I'm feeling loopy tonight, buddy. We're going late and we're going strong. I got the coffee, Red Bulls. I got it all, baby. Let's go. How you doing today?
I'm tired. Although, you know what? I will say I think I gave a pretty good performance in my open house. It's one of the ones I was cracking some jokes. I think I was doing pretty well.
Proud of you. I'm proud of you, buddy. I never doubted you for a second.
Yeah. How was your open house?
It was good. It was solid. Good showing. Good showing of families. Always good to see families, and siblings, right? The people that you've had, I haven't had a former student come in as a parent yet. I'm getting close. I'm getting close at 20 years, but I haven't had, and I've had colleagues who have had that, but I haven't had that yet. But I'm getting there. I'm getting close.
Yeah. I haven't been long enough one place, I think, to get that.
Yeah. Well, you might have that family that moved from Long Beach to.
I think I'm the only one. The other thing I decided to break out was I listened to the Slim Shady LP, the original Eminem album.
Yeah, old school.
Such a good album. It's such a good album.
Still good album.
I think that was Dre at his pinnacle. I think that Chronic 2001. I think that was the best time for him producing. It was such a good album.
Well, meanwhile, I'm playing. I had a little pie tasters, but you don't know anything about pie tasters, do you, buddy?
I don't.
You don't know anything about that. You're on
taster?
The Northern Virginia podcast, my friend. And Pie Tasters is actually somewhat of a local band. They're from Virginia. It was kind of old reggae ska.
Like ska?
Ska-ish, reggae-ish, yeah.
Like 311 kind of note out.
I mean, ish, but local. Never really made it national. But I still play them every once in a while. They still play from time to time nearby. So if you know, and again, this is a Northern Virginia podcast, so there are people out there that probably know the Pie Tasters. Some probably love them, some probably hate them, but they know them.
Well, Dave Grohl, right? Dave Grohl is the chef's kiss, right, of musicians from Northern Virginia.
Yeah, that's bigger than Pie Tasters. That's right. He's a whole enchilada right there. That's a bit one of the most famous musicians in the world, probably.
And his mom is a FCPS teacher, right?
Yeah, she was at I think Fairfax High School for a long time. I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Well, buddy, real quick, because we're on top of this one. All right, everyone out there, you're loving the material. You're loving the football talk. You're loving the Pie Tasters reference. You're loving all this stuff. So please subscribe, hit that button, share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with Grandpa Joe who's living in Missouri. Maybe he wants to know about football that's going on in Northern Virginia. Maybe he does. Let him know.
At the open house, right? We had people telling us, "Hey, I watch a podcast, but I bet you're not subscribing."
That's right.
Come on. If
I had a guy
in my classroom,
I had a friend tell me. I swear, I just told you the story off camera. He said, "I'd love to subscribe, but I don't have that kind of money right now." And I said, "You son of a gun! It's free." Jeez, I thought everyone knew that. I mean, I knew that YouTube, you don't pay money to subscribe. So if anyone out there thinks that if they press that button, they're somehow going to get charged money, that's not true. You can hit the subscribe button and you're fine.
We are for the people. We're for the people.
All free. All right.
So I'm going to bring it back around like an old dirty bastard would say. The Nova Football Podcast, All Hitches, is for the people. Wu-Tang is for the people, just like the All Hitches Podcast. We're for the people.
I like it. A little ODB reference there.
Joe Rogan is cool and all, but the All Hitches Podcast, we're for the people.
That's right. Mark Maron is cool and all. And then so the other thing I want to remind you guys, get us the stats. This is you're probably watching this on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday or even Saturday, whatever. Get us the stats, get us highlights, get them in. When I get those awards out, we're going to do it, on Saturday. We want to get those awards out hopefully by Saturday afternoon. So get us all that stuff. We want to get them out there and let everyone kind of enjoy that over the weekend. Enjoy the bliss of being our players of the week.
And I feel like we named Maloney our play of the week. I feel like we're not getting interaction from West Potomac. So you West Potomac people out there, we'd like to hear from you. It just didn't seem like we were getting any kind of feedback from West Potomac. So hopefully those of you guys have connections to West Po.
Yes.
West Po Wolverines, right? The Wolverines.
Right. Yes, with Coach Louisville. That's correct.
Yeah.
And I guess in the spirit of the debates, right, that are going on this week, West Potomac, if you're out there listening, please email us. Please email us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so get us those stats, get us all that stuff. All right. So got through that, got through the ads, got through all that stuff. Now it's time to get down to business, my friend. Week 3 is here. Week 3 is upon us.
Yeah, I mean, and there's some teams, right, that are trying to separate from the pack.
Oh,
and so
yeah.
I mean, and some other teams who are trying to pick themselves off the mat after a disappointing week 2. So there's some big games out there. I mean,
yes, there are some really big games out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we got the Fab Five. We had some people email us, people DM us, people letting us know their comments in the on YouTube, and we put together a pretty solid. I think Fab Five list this week. So let's get into it. Let's get into it right now. All right, topping off the list, my man, is a game that you are going to go to on Friday night. We got West Springfield and SoCo, a good old-fashioned Patriot brawl.
Yeah. So, I mean, what I'm excited to see is both those teams, I mean, South County last week faced a pretty big power in Quince Orchard. And, West Springfield had to open up with Hayfield. And I think both those teams are trying to – we talk about picking themselves off the mat, right? They both took a couple shots. And now this is West Springfield's first game in district play. I mean, what's that going to look like? What's that going to look like between the two? I mean, you have really good coaching staff, really good, some really good athletes on both sides. It's going to be exciting to watch between the two.
Yeah. I mean, is it me or does it feel like West Springfield hasn't played in about 2 months?
Yeah. I mean,
right?
Especially because that weird like Friday morning game, right?
Yeah.
I mean, makes things really weird, right? I mean,
I feel like we hardly knew you. I mean, it's been a while, and I feel like playing a little Loving Spoonfuls, a little welcome back, because welcome back Cotta, welcome back Parker, because it's been a long time, and last time we saw them, they're on the losing end of that. I mean, to the what you have as your number 1 ranked team in the area, and your power rankings in Hayfield, but. We thought we were both impressed by West Springfield in that matchup. So I've been kind of looking forward to seeing them again. Right.
Well, yeah. Well, last year it was 14-9. It was 14-9 game last year. And
that's right. And they were driving to win the game.
Yeah. And it's pretty interesting, with South County able to play them that tough, considering the fact how explosive West Springfield was on offense. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, I mean, I think that's pretty interesting between the two. How is West Springfield going to respond? Hayfield is I think right now the class, you could say, of the region, but also West Springfield needs to figure out a way how they want to get that district win, right?
Right. Well, Walrath is back for West Springfield. You got obviously White at running back. They're ready to go. They're rested, right? They're rested, ready to go. And then you got South County, with who's going to come out of quarterback? Is it going to be Orth? It probably will be Orth again, running that option. They got the sound running game. They got the young receiver starting to come on. So I'm starting to kind of really, this is going to be kind of fun to see. We could be looking at you could be fighting for anywhere between first and projecting like third or fourth place here, right? I
Right.
mean, these Patriot games, I feel like the first 4 slots is what everyone's fighting for.
Yeah. And last year, White had 142 yards rushing in that game. So
Mm.
he had a big game, but they were able to keep him out of the end zone.
Right.
And I do think with Hunter Mylecki on defense for them, I mean he's probably going to be a really really big key to that.
Oh,
And
I mean,
I wonder if South County's ground and pound is going to do something trying to keep that offense off the field.
Right.
And we didn't get a chance to see that offense be very explosive against Hayfield, and I'm sure they are itching, ready to go, trying to get the engine started with them.
Right. Well, so a couple of things. One with South County, like you mentioned, Orff. You mentioned Malecki. You got Steve Caroma, right? The tough running back. The guy he had 100 yards of total yards of offense and a touchdown. Okay, in that Quince Orchard game. So I mean, he's a tough son of a gun.
Yeah. But it should be a slugfest. Both these teams, I don't want to say need the win, but in terms of these teams are fighting for a playoff berth, right? I mean, they're fighting for trying to get home field. There's a lot riding on this game.
Yes, there is a ton riding on this game.
Yeah, because you lose this game, and now you're trailing them by a game. You're trailing by 2 games.
Yes.
Now you're trailing them by PowerPoints, and every time you're going to continue to compile PowerPoints off of beating them.
Yep.
I mean, I think this game at week 3 is going to have a huge playoff implications.
Keep an eye on Travion Campbell. Like this guy. I mean, you look at he had 112 yards off 9 catches against Quince Orchard, and apparently the guy covering him was a 5-star commit at Quince Orchard. Wow. So I mean, that's a big deal. I think he's coming on. He's a junior, right? So I think he's kind of coming on now. The passing game is kind of coming on little by little, right? The young quarterback. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on the passing game there.
No, I'm going to be excited to see the game. And if you see me at the game, say what's up.
Yes.
And also subscribe. I just want to throw out there again.
And you're going to be there along with the Adam Schefter of Nova, Carl Frederick. So you and Frederick together. I like this. A little teaming up here. I like that.
Yeah, should be exciting.
You guys might be getting people asking for your autographs, man.
Hey, you know what's right near South County? Texas Donuts.
Yeah. Yes. Everything's bigger and better in Texas, my friend. The donuts. So, and you're gonna be live tweeting that one too, right?
I will be. Yeah.
All right. Awesome stuff. All right, that's one of the Fab Five. Let's get to 2. Braddock and Westfield. That's another freaking heavyweight slugfest, buddy.
Yeah. So, right, Westfield's coming off a win last week. They picked themselves off the map.
Yes,
after a loss to Patriot. Was it Patriot in week 1? Mm-hmm. And went and took care of business and really was physical against Mount Vernon. Right. South County on the other end, right? Kind of tough game against Madison. I think it's a little deceiving, that score. It seemed like they were doing okay. I mean, they started against touchdowns.
Braddock against
against Madison. But this is their chance to try to right the ship, right? But Braddock, it's a pretty brutal stretch playing Madison and Westfield back-to-back games.
Absolutely brutal.
Yeah. I thought Ty Jackson towards the end looked pretty good towards the end of that game.
Yes.
We'll see what their plan is with their 2-quarterback system and how they're gonna figure things out. I'm sure Coach Doc's gone back to the drawing board, kind of dissected what went wrong, and I think they're probably gonna have a pretty good solid game plan. I'm a fan though of Coach Bossler. I think that when I saw the program he ran at Westfield, it seems like they've got the wing team going a little bit over there.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing, right? Coach Bossler is very familiar with Lake Braddock.
Yes, he is. You're right.
Right. I mean, he's been coaching against Coach Doc for quite a while.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be interesting, and vice versa, where they're familiar with kind of Coach Bossler's system and what he does. It should be pretty good. And
it was a very tight game last year.
Last year it was
low scoring. I mean, if I remember, my memory could be terrible, but if I remember correctly, it was a low-scoring slugfest.
Let me check it out here.
Now you're gonna come out.
Not 9-7.
I knew it. I knew it. Yeah, it was a good game.
You got a pretty good memory there.
Steel trap, my friend. Steel trap.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm excited about this one. I think, and I'm surprised you didn't say this because this is something you would say normally. I feel like to me, one of the big storylines is going to be the young. We've been talking about the young Braddock DBs, right? Yeah. Young defense in general, and Braddock, young defense. They're still kind of feeling their way and getting their reps and all that stuff. The young front seven, right? Against this power run game,
right?
You know how they're going to handle that, and Coach Crush and company is going to have a plan.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious to see that matchup.
Yeah, it should be good. But I mean, this is back-to-back power run. Now,
that's true.
No disrespect to the running backs they have. Duda is a really good running back. They have over at Westfield, but they just got done playing probably a Player of the Year candidate in Dominic Nicely over at Madison, right?
Yeah.
So I'm curious what their game plan is going to be against Duda and over there at Westfield.
Yeah. Well, they got your boy at Braddock, right? I know. What's your prediction for the match? Payne. They got Payne on the D line. So he can wreck a game plan. So seeing what Braddock does defensively, against that offense, it's going to be again, this is a heavyweight matchup, and Braddock has really, both teams really, I mean, 2 out of 3 games were against heavyweight opponents.
Yeah,
but for both teams.
I mean, they're definitely trying to sharpen the iron for the playoffs.
That's exactly what they're doing. All right, so we'll be hopefully getting some. We got our guys though. We got our guys. We'll be talking to Adam
Hazara,
and we'll be talking to John Fedor, right? And getting there. They'll be live tweeting probably a little bit. And they're also calling the game, but they're going to hopefully be getting some tweets out there too.
And Coach Laguna, right? Coach Laguna over there. I believe he's a freshman coach.
Yeah, he's a freshman head coach. Been there for a long time as a coach. Solid guy. Does a great job with the freshman program over there. And
you
job in the booth too.
Yeah, it helps to have a solid freshman coach. I mean that's huge to have a solid.
Gold.
Yeah.
Worth more than gold.
Yeah.
To have it. So kudos to Coach Laguna, to Adam Lazara, and to John Fedor. That's our crew. That's Frank Allen Dan.
It is Frank Allen Dan.
You really are Frank Allen Dan. And to those young bucks, I know Coach Laguna knows who Frank Allen Dan is, but the young bucks might not. You guys got to look up Frank Allen Dan. That's when Monday Night Football meant something. It's
not Kornheiser, Dennis Miller, and
Rush Limbaugh. Definitely not that crew. Definitely not that. I like this. I like this crew.
Yeah.
So we'll get those guys. Hopefully, we'll be sending out live tweets on that game. So again, boom, 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 getting all this information out there for people to digest.
Yeah. Yes.
All of the days you couldn't find information and you're looking on Twitter trying to find it. No, not anymore. We're getting all the information out there.
Going to terrible websites where they spout things you don't want to read, and then you can't forget that you have to forget that you ever read that.
Right. Then people just lie about stuff and just give bad information out. All right. Next one up on the Fab Five. Number 3, another good one. Centerville Fairfax.
Yeah. So I mean, 2 teams come off a loss, right? And nobody would have thought those 2 teams would be coming off a loss. I think coming into week 2. And I think what you're going to see too is I'm going to make a boxing reference for Coach Dash because those boxing, right? Okay. You're gonna have the power run of Fairfax against the wide open offense of Centerville. Yeah. I think what you're going to see, right? You're going to see Shields out there slinging the ball around a little bit. You're going to see now. Do we know if Ethan Lynch is playing this game?
We don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
So they're going to go with the running back from Fairfax. Why am I drawing a blank?
Yeah, the Maltese Falcon, buddy.
The Maltese Falcon. That's right. So they're going to have. Yeah. I mean, it could be the spread versus the double wing the way they went that double wing against Oakland last week.
Yes. Yes. I I mean, you said it earlier off camera. These two teams, nobody wants to lose 2 in a row.
No.
And Centerville, you said it yourself. You watch that game. If it's 5 minutes longer, 10 minutes longer, maybe they come back and win that game.
Yeah.
And then Fairfax can make a similar argument where if they don't have those turnovers in the red zone, they win that game. So now each team's got to rebound. How are you going to be coming off that loss?
Right. And you have two veteran quality head coaches in Shields and Taylor, Coach Shields and Coach Taylor. And I'm sure they're preaching to them, we do not want to be 1 and 2.
Right.
Especially when you're in the districts now. No disrespect to the other districts, but I think maybe Liberty has kind of moved up their status, but it's so top heavy in the Patriot and the Concord, where every win, every point you can get is going to count, right? So I think that you're going to see 2 teams. I don't want to say desperate for win because I'm trying to think of the right word for it. But definitely do not want to be one of those teams. Are going to be 1 and 2 kind of this game, and both of them are hoping are thinking themselves that they really don't want to put themselves in there. Again, these are teams that have playoff aspirations. Yeah, that more than likely will be making the playoffs. I would imagine in their districts.
Well coached teams.
Yeah,
playmakers on both teams. It's going to be something to see.
Yeah, no, it should be good. It should be good.
Concord and Patriot. That's East meets West, baby. That's Drago and Apollo going at it right there.
I don't know if that's exactly.
You know what? In my world, that's been a better fight than it really was. It's ridiculous that they killed them.
It went 2 rounds.
It's ridiculous.
Apollo, it's Rocky. It should be Rocky drug.
Apollo had just sparred Rocky moments before, like the day before he died. And he went toe to toe with Rocky, and then he freaking gets killed against Drago. It's ridiculous. We're gonna pretend that didn't happen. All right, pretend it didn't happen. All right. Well, again, another one. Can't wait. And if you were at the game and you want to throw some tweet, tag us.
Yes, absolutely.
Give us some updates. Send them out to the ether. Tag us, and we'll retweet it.
We'll like it. Well, everything.
Yes.
We'll be your friend. Would you like us to be your friend? 'Cause we'll do that too.
Right. Let's do it, man. Let's get it. Let's get these scores out there for people. People are all asking, what's going on? Who's winning this? Who's winning this? We don't know. No one knows. No one knows. Tweet it, tag us, and the whole world will know.
You know who knows? Shadow knows.
Yes, the Shadow doesn't know. All right. This one. You mentioned Liberty a minute ago. So we got Liberty meets Concord. McLean and Chantilly, the battle of the undefeateds, my friend.
2-0.
Must go down hard.
So, we talked about the last game, how no one wants to be 1 and 2. Both these teams desperately want to be 3-0. 3-0 is huge. Three wins. That gives you some room for error, right? It gives you.
That's it.
Give you some room for error.
Yep.
The Liberty, I think, is a top to bottom has got to be. It's going to be a dogfight there.
Yeah.
At this point, who would you say is the favorite in the Liberty?
Well, the more and more, I'm seeing. Marshall looks like the 85 Bears. I told you that.
So, but
it's wide open. It's wide open.
It's wide open, and to be 3-0 is going to be huge. And the same thing can be said for Chantilly, a young team, junior quarterback, to go 3-0. But now remember, they were in this exact same spot last year.
Yeah,
they were 2-0 going this game, and they lost. They didn't lose Chow. They lost the other running back, and the name escapes me.
Yes,
but and it kind of set them into a little bit of a tailspin.
Yeah,
and when you are trying to reemerge as a program, and the coaches at Chantilly have them going on the right track, I think it's going to be huge for them to go to both those teams again. Desperately want to be 3-0 to kind of give themselves room for error.
Right.
3-0. I think normally in a normal season, 5 wins usually get you in. 5 wins usually get you in. And if you're 3-0, that means you just have to go out of 7 games, 2-5. Now you don't want to go 2-5.
Fine,
but
sure.
you think to yourselves, if we can just find 2 more wins, we are a playoff football team.
Right.
And we get 3 more wins, maybe we're at home. We're playing at home in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
And also, I'd imagine both those teams are looking at the teams across from them, thinking to themselves, those teams are going to get more wins, which is going to up the power points. I hate the power points, but
Yeah.
that's a talk for another day. But I think that's pretty big.
Yeah, and McLean's D, solid defense of McLean. So here, Mantry, playing really good right now. He's going to go up against this McLean defense. Let's see what happens. Let's see, can he keep it up? Can he keep it up? I mean, he's looking fantastic. Can he keep it going? And the McLean defense is going to have his work cut out for it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
All right, man. Well, the final five here, the final five of the Fab Five. Here's the fifth one is Woodson traveling to the red hot Oakton Cougars.
So is that a Oakton maroon I see you wearing? Is that what's going on?
I thought you were going to say that. I thought you were going to say that. Is it a sign? I don't know. Complete coincidence, my friend. Complete coincidence. But I'm a Coach Slay. I like what Coach Slay's doing over there. I was saying it back in freaking July and August. I'm saying it now, September. So Woodson, and I'm a Woodson guy.
Yes.
Right? I believe the blue, gray, and red. Sometimes red.
Red, white, blue. I don't think it's gray. I think it's just red, white, blue, right?
We've added gray over the years. So a little bit of gray.
Yeah.
But, so I believe that. At the same time, I love what Coach Slay is doing over there at Oakton. I love it. And the way he's got his guys fired up. They struggled. And I look at that as something. We talk about Herndon and the turnaround they've had and a few other teams. McLean's turnaround, Langley's. We talk about some of these teams. Could we be seeing in real time one of those turnarounds right now? We're seeing it I'm not saying it's happened yet, but that win against Fairfax last week was huge. Can they catapult that into another win, 2 in a row? It'll be the first time they've won 2 in a row in quite some time, my friend.
Well, I think in the 21 season, not the COVID 21 season, but the 2020 the 21 season, I think they won 2 in a row. I think
ruined my whole talking point, buddy.
They won 4 in a row, but I do think you are onto something in the fact that the resurgence of Oakton and with young guys. It's not like there's a veteran group.
Right.
Now you and I have been talking throughout the week. Dalen Jones, who was our player of the week, that kid for a sophomore, that kid's really good. Kid's really good.
Woodson better watch out. If you're Woodson, you better watch out for that guy, right?
Yeah. But I think Woodson's playing great defense.
They are playing a good defense. They did a good job. We were just talking about Sahir Mantry. They did a good job up with Chantilly.
Yeah, against a pass offense. Now the question is Oakton going to be able? I know Oakton had some issues a little bit running the football against Fairfax. Are they going to have the same? But I like Fairfax. I like Woodson's interior run defense. Later on in the game, I think it suffered a little bit against Chantilly, and I could go into some reasons why I think that. But early on, I thought they were stuffing the. I mean, 2 goal line stands from 1 yard line.
That was really impressive.
Yeah, and then that just kind of shows you the heart of some of those kids. I mean,
yes.
Sometimes when kids get backed up there, they let up or they just kind of concede. And that's not the case. I think
our boy Big Brian
looks really good.
Right.
So what is Coach Slay's plan? And also we know this personally. Woodson's had our number for quite a few years now. Oakton's had our numbers. Woodson's number for quite a few years now.
They've had their number. They have.
Yeah.
That's true.
So how do you keep your kids from being complacent after the big win against Fairfax, against a team that they're like, hey, we beat those guys every year?
Right.
I mean that's gonna be interesting. On the flip side, it's Coach Pilson getting those guys ready, being like, hey, I know we're 0-2. But last year's game. Need to breathe for a second before I talk about last year's game. Was really tough. We were right there. That's 14-7 in that game last year. And is Coach Pilson going to be able to get those guys psyched and ready to go? Get themselves off the mat, which I think he's more than capable of doing.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you're Woodson, you're going to do that. Get the ball to Gabe Castro.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that man's been gold.
Yes, he has.
I mean, I don't know what he's averaging per carry, but speaking of which, I mean, we talk about getting people stats. hey, Gabe, some of you guys, we work in the same building as you guys. You get a dude fast. You can run it down on your way to lunch. Jem Sandino, the big tight end, looking like Mark Buffalo.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they got the tools, they got the talent,
Absolutely.
to put it together. On the flip side, I've had coaches tell me they think this Oakton quarterback, Jack Martin, might be one of the best sophomore quarterbacks in the area. I've had people tell me that. So, can he keep that streak going?
Right. He looked really good. Look, and then the sophomore connection has got to be frightening for a lot of schools, right?
Impressive. I mean, it's impressive.
But they look really good.
Oh, and I will be at that game, buddy. Will I be wearing this shirt? I don't know. I don't know if I'll be wearing this shirt. Okay. But I'm going to be at the game. I'll be live tweeting that one. All right.
Okay. Exciting.
Some good grub in the. There's a Santini's. You talk about Duck Donuts.
Oh, Santini's.
I'll go to Santini's. I'm going to get a cheesecake from Junior's. All right, at Santini's, and I'm going to get a delicious, Italian hoagie. All right.
You and I have gotten Santini's like 3 times during the Oakton 7-on-7s. We'd go and have the calzone there was so good. Oh, it's a good calzone.
Santini's, if you're listening, we're cheap date. You can just go ahead and just we don't need a lot, just some free food and we're good to go, buddy. All right. Well, that's the Fab Five, my friend. That's the Fab Five is Dunsky. It's Dunsky. But wait, there's more. There is more. So we're gonna go down the rest of the weekend's action. All right, rest of Friday night's action. See what we got here, buddy. All right. We got Falls Church at South Lakes. What do you think? Your boy Coogan. We love Coogan.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what they do. South Lakes has been struggling a little bit, much more than I thought they were going to.
Yeah.
I didn't. I mean, from what I saw from the scrimmages, and Falls Church they're trying to find a way to get them going.
Because I'm rooting for Coach Coogan too. Remember, you talked him up. I feel like I know the guy now. Everything I heard about him, I like Coach Coogan. That's a tough schedule. Every time we go over fall church games, I always like, man, they're playing those guys. Like, fall church kind of the scheduling hasn't been kind to him.
No, but I think this schedule was made back when fall church had made the playoffs a couple of years, right?
Yeah, was it made that long ago though? I don't even know.
So this is year 2.
Oh, it is year 2. Yeah.
So I mean, it's made almost 3 or 4 years ago.
I guess so. Yeah. One day I'll find out how these things are really made. Backroom deals, handshake, cigar. I don't know what's going on back there.
Yeah.
All right, moving down the list. Hayfield at Annandale, another tough draw. We were talking earlier about West Springfield. I feel like it's been a month since we've seen them. I feel like it's been about 18 weeks since we've seen Hayfield and company.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough draw for Annandale, and Annandale's definitely been struggling. But Hayfield is what Hayfield is. I hope that anything could happen, right? Anything could happen. And I think if you're Annandale, you got to come in loose. You got to come in loose. You got to come in, confident that, you kind of tell them, hey, those kids are the same age as you are.
Right.
The same age you are. They bleed. They're not a machine. They're not a machine.
He's not a machine. He's not a machine. You channel your inner Duke. Right.
Yeah. So but we'll see how this game goes. I mean, everybody has an expectation, but if you're Annandale, you've got to think to yourself, hey, we play a game for 4 quarters. Well, let's go out there. Let's fight. Let's give our best shot. Let's swing a little bit and let's see how.
And look, and I mean, just to be on the silver lining of it all. I mean, it is a tough game for Annandale, but the silver lining, there are teams out there. You look at South County, for instance. I know South County, is a state power and that kind of stuff traditionally, but it's a young South County team, and they went and played a really, really good Quince Orchard team, knowing that maybe wouldn't be but it's going to make them tougher down the road and it'll make them a better team for it. So maybe it's one of those things. Some young Annandale guys, they're talking about this. Some of the sophomores on this team are talking about 2 years from now, saying, "Hey, look, we can overcome anything. We know. Remember 2 years ago we played that won a state title, in Hayfield. So I think that they can use that to kind of catapult something.
Not just that though, but for the South County last year, right? AC went 0-10. They played South County really tough for about 4 quarters.
Yeah.
So just because people don't expect, are expecting one thing doesn't mean that necessarily is going to happen.
Yeah,
Anything can happen. So
that is true.
We'll
Anything. I mean, I saw Hulk Hogan body slam onto the Giant at WrestleMania 3. Nobody thought that. I didn't think that was going to happen, and he almost broke his back. He said he tore the vertebrae in his back. Yeah. All right, going to the next one. We got Langley at Edison. Langley.
Yeah.
Langley. So, I mean, come on now.
So last year, I think it was a 1-possession game last year. I think it was a 1-possession game last year.
Edison won that game. Edison won. Yeah,
it was a tight one. And we'll see, right? I mean, Langley's been playing pretty well.
Langley
and they're another team, right? That is 2-0 that really wants to be 3-0, right? They want to start pulling away from the pack. With how brutal their district is, I think they want to pull away from the pack. On the flip side, I think Edison is looking kind of right the ship.
Yeah.
They've been struggling a little bit. And I do like I mean the stuff I've seen them. I like their skills. I mean I think they got some kids who can play. I mean they had play against WNL. They hit a kid for 80 yards. I mean I think it was one of the highlights I think we considered for play of the week.
Yes.
So they have some athletes that they can play.
Yeah. Edison's they got some talent. They got some talent.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. We got Lewis at WNL. Lewis at WNL. Good old. We got Coach Choates. Lewis had a strong. I know it was in a loss, but player of the week.
Yeah.
Player of the week. A performance. First defensive player on player of the week, by the way.
Yeah.
Against WNL. WNL's rocking and rolling right now. Don't sleep on them.
Yeah. But I think we both like what Coach Schultz got. I mean, they had another wide receiver who was a WTOP player.
Yeah.
CBS. So
a DC touchdown club.
Yeah. So it sounds like they've got Coach Schultz is starting to turn the page over there. This for them though would be a statement game, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, similar to Oakton and Fairfax. If they're able to pull this off, WNL looks really good. But I think that Coach Schultz has got them rolling a little bit over there. Has got some momentum going forward.
It's definitely an improving Lewis team. They're definitely on the rise.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we've got didn't make the list, and there's a time, my friend. There's a time, and it wasn't too long ago, where Madison Robinson would have led off on the marquee. That would have been the game of the week. So talk about where we are right now with that matchup.
Well, that's the Volleyball Bowl, right? This is the.
Well, I mean, no.
No, it's not. No, I'm thinking of Westfield. Never mind.
No, but
yeah.
It's definitely a ground attack bowl. It's a matchup.
Well,
work the body, just hit the body.
So Madison being really good on defense, but Robinson has come out with has some familiarity with Coach Blair over there from Westfield, right? So he has an idea what he's looking at when he's looking at Madison. And is Madison going to have a letdown after a pretty big win against a Bragg team? And Robinson coming off a high of winning their first game, they would like to be 2-1. They'd like to be 2-1. And I think that's some young talent. The Scaparetto looked really good. Scaparetto and
they got the Scaparetto brothers.
Yeah, they have them both. So I think that's it's a big hill to climb, but I think Robinson being a pretty good football tradition. I think the expectation is that they're going to be able to come out there and have some success.
Yeah, coming off the big win last week against South Lakes. I think it'll be interesting to see how they respond. But I mean, that's an elite Madison team, right? So let's see how that one goes. Like I said, two teams that want to run the ball, right?
Yeah.
All right. Mount Vernon at Unity Reed. Mount Vernon coming off the loss.
Yeah. I think we're gonna see how Mount Vernon kind of responds. Another team that wants to come off the map. But they've got that dynamic Grimsley and Moet, who,
Yeah.
are a real big issue to deal with, right?
Yes, they are. I think you're going to see that. Mount Vernon's going to settle. Tough game last week. They're not going anywhere. They're going to be around for a while. I think you're going to see the quarterback receiver connection there with those two kind of reemerge.
Right.
All right, we got Osborne Park, Herndon. Herndon coming off that tough loss to Langley.
Yeah.
What do you think about that one?
Well, I mean, Osborne Park last week lost to Hilton.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It was Inac's first win at Hilton.
Yeah, and it lost to Hilton. So I think that it's a tough draw, right? Tough draw for Osborne Park.
Yeah.
We'll see exactly what that looks like for them, for Osborne Park. And Herndon definitely wants to kind of get that taste out of their mouth.
Yes, they do want to get the taste out of their mouth.
Yeah. So I expect them to play well defensively. Herndon's playing really well defensively, and I'm sure they're going to get that option going for Herndon.
Well, speaking of options, my friend, we got Justice at Marshall, and I told you last week, Nick Bonacani, Bob Greasy, Mercury Morris, the whole crew, they got the champagne, and it's on ice because they're a little worried right now. Marshall's looking like world beaters right now, buddy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is this a game where they're going to be able to play close? I mean, they have yet to have it even be close. I mean, they've got the option rolling over there, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward, to seeing Marshall play some Liberty teams and kind of some conference play. Yeah. But I mean, so far they've looked outstanding. They look outstanding.
And you have a Justice team that's still trying to adjust. I mean, It looks like they're still emerging a little bit. So
they're young team.
Yeah, but again, anything can happen, right? I mean,
any Friday night.
And you have 2 weeks of film. You have 2 weeks of film to try to figure out a game plan. So
any Friday night. All right, we got AC at Forest Park. Do you like running attacks? If you like running attacks, Forest Park is a team for you, my friend.
Yeah. I think this game might actually be closer than what people think. I think people are going to are underestimating TC.
I think so too.
AC.
I think so too.
I think they're underestimating AC. They're going to Forest Park, right? But they have to go to there. I have been told by some coaches I know that sometimes AC can be a little different team at home than they're on the road.
They played a relatively close game last year, I think.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. I thought so. And again, let's see if the old steel trap is correct. I thought it was a relatively close game. But TC or AC was on the short end of the stick, I thought.
Well, let's go to the Google machine and check out if you are correct, sir.
Can't be right all the time, buddy. Can't be right all the time.
I think you're right, because I think I remember watching last year when we were game playing. I think I remember watching the film and 21-10.
Look at that. Relatively close game.
21-10. Yeah.
All right, buddy. We got this is kind of an intriguing one. Wakefield and Yorktown, the improving Wakefield team that's looking better and better every week against Yorktown.
I agree.
The undefeated, it's 2-0.
Yeah. It should be interesting. I know Yorktown played a pretty tough game or a relatively close game last week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was a big win. And from what we've heard about Wakefield is that they have the speed. They got some athletes who can run a little bit. And so we'll see. I mean, I think that Yorktown's offense is prone to playing close for a little while. But they have those two huge tight ends.
Yeah.
Is it Drew Morgan that quarterback? Am I right? Am I right about that one?
Yeah, Morgan.
Yeah. And then they have the lacrosse player, and I can't think of it. So they're pretty talented, and they're huge.
Yeah,
and that may be the problem for Wakefield. While Wakefield has some speed, I mean Yorktown's going to run it right at them, and so how are they going to deal with that kind of side speed on the field?
And if Yorktown can go 3-0, man, that all of a sudden we're talking Yorktown possibly 3-0. You're talking McLean possibly 3-0.
Yeah.
You're talking W&L possibly 3-0. You're talking
Marshall.
Langley possibly 3-0. You're talking Marshall possibly 3-0. You're talking it's crazy.
Yeah.
And then Herman 2-1.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
if all
absolutely.
win, which all those teams very well could.
Right.
So crazy times at the Circle K, my friend. Crazy times. All right. Well, we got some. I think you had some on the list there. You had some of the PW matchups over there.
Yeah. So we have Osborne at Hilton. Osborne at Hilton.
Osborne at Hilton. So Van Acker looking for win number 2.
Yeah. Now they got the win last year. I believe they beat Osborne last year, but Orange Thames is a much improved Osborne team, so it should be pretty good.
Very young. Maybe someone can correct us if I'm wrong, but their quarterback is a freshman. So someone told me.
Is he really? I did not know that.
I did not know that. I feel like I would know that if that was true. But so if you we'll find out. I guess we can reach out to Osborne. But whether he's a freshman or a sophomore, either one, that's still that's a young team.
Yeah.
And we've heard good reports. Carl Frederick, who knows
big Osborne guy,
knows his PW football, and he's really high on Osborne.
Yeah. Next we have Woodbridge at Gainesville.
Man, I mean Gainesville, the machine.
Yeah, they're pretty good. We have yet to see Woodbridge. I know we should probably. I'm going to try to come out to see some PW teams.
Yeah,
would like to see Woodbridge. We don't know a ton about them. I don't even think we got write up from them for the previews on the website. But we know a lot about Gainesville, and it sounds to me like it'll be a tough hill to climb. I think this year for Woodbridge.
And once upon a time, not too far or long ago, Woodbridge was that team that you're Woodbridge. Oh, that's a tough one. It's gonna be a tough one. Good luck. And just things change over time, and Gainesville new program over the last 5 years, all that kind of stuff. And now that's a tough one. I mean, when you got Gainesville on the schedule, that's a tough one on the schedule.
Yeah. Next we have Colgan at Stafford, and I don't think we know anything about it. Stafford is 2-0. It's what we know.
All right. I mean, Colgan. But I'll tell you about them. They've played some. They've played tough games. I mean, and they've been in their games.
Yeah. Colgan with one of our players of the week.
Yeah.
LJ Richards.
Yeah. I mean, they beat Osborne last week.
They beat Osborne last week, and
they played Braddock tough, like I was saying, in the first half of that game again.
Yeah.
So don't sleep on Colgan. I like Colgan.
Yeah. And then we have Colonial Forge at Potomac. Colonial Forge is 2-0. Potomac is 0-2.
Yeah, I mean Colonial Forge.
Actually, no, I saw Colonial Forge play. That's right. I watched them play AC.
Yeah.
And Colonial Forge is pretty talented.
They're a talented team.
So,
I mean Potomac, hopefully they can, kind of like you said, any Friday night.
Yep.
It's all possible, my friend.
Absolutely.
We got Battlefield.
Oh, that's right. Battlefield. Yeah, that's the last one I missed.
And I was just looking
Garfield. Garfield at Battlefield.
I mean, Garfield, man, that's a tough game again.
Gainesville and Battlefield on back-to-back.
Yeah. I like it, though.
Back-to-back nights.
You know what?
And
bring it on. Bring it on, they're saying.
Yeah. I mean, this is another chance for them to kind of pull themselves off the mat. And I like Garfield a lot, and this is another chance for them to kind of see where they're at.
Right. And then speaking of the big three, we talk about Battlefield, Gainesville, and Patriot, the big three. Well, Patriot is playing Freedom South Riding.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, Freedom South Riding, if you guys are listening, thank you very much for the rosters. We appreciate it. Everybody else out there, I feel like if you're in the classroom like a teacher, you could say, I want to thank Freedom South Riding, everybody, for giving the rosters. Did anybody else turn in their rosters?
Yorktown turned in their rosters to us.
Yorktown did it, last week. So, if I was giving out candy or something, I'd say, here's candy for South Riding, candy for these other guys. Not for the rest of you guys, though.
A star on the board, right? You'd walk over to the chart over there, and you put a star right next to their name.
They're going to get 10 more minutes of recess.
He would get 10 more minutes of recess. Freedom South Riding again, trying to be the emergence program. The coach wrote to us. I didn't get a chance. I skimmed through it. We got it on the night of our open house, which is tonight. So I tried to skim through it. He has some guys who he likes a lot, but Patriot has one of the. I mean, there's a few teams that have, I think, legit triplets, and they for sure have legit triplets. So I mean, who do you defend with that team? It's going to be pretty tough on them.
That is true. However, I will say this: we talked about playing tough teams. We talked about Annandale earlier, having to play Hayfield, and like I was saying, the silver linings of that.
Yeah.
Well, Freedom South Riding, they played freaking Freedom. They played some of those teams.
Yeah.
They've gone up against Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They fought some tough dudes, so they're like, all right, bring it on, man. We've seen guys like you. Go on, bring it on. So they're not gonna back. They're not gonna back down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, buddy, that brings us to the conclusion for our week 3 breakdowns. I'm excited about week 3. I'm excited about reading your live tweets and getting some text from you and finding out what's going on in that game. I'll be doing the same thing from Oakton Woodson. It's going to be a fun week, and it's supposed to be nice weather. Pickle juice and mustard, or Dijon if you're classy. This could be a week for this. It's going to be hot. It was hot all week.
You know what Dijon is? I looked it up.
Yeah, it's called classy mustard, buddy.
It's an industrial city in eastern France to the north of Lyons. So classy. I think that mustard comes from Dijon in France.
Yeah, and it's a classy place. That's just what it is, buddy. It's just what it is.
Hey, you know what? If you don't love America, you can go back to France and wear a beret and smoke cigarettes. That's what you can do, buddy. You know what's classy? You know what's classy? Stafford. Stafford's classy, my friend.
All right. Well, Dijon mustard is just good mustard, buddy. It's good mustard. Well, like I said, if you're listening out there, guys, athletic trainers, if you're listening, pack that pack the mustard, pack the pickle juice, pack all that stuff, because we saw a lot of cramps last week.
Yeah, a ton.
It could be another night of cramps.
Yeah.
So be ready.
Yeah, it was crazy how many cramps we did see, though. I can't believe how many games I watched and like that to keep on
a cool night too. All right.
Yeah.
Before we go, give me an upset. Give me something.
Upset.
Give me something, buddy.
Give you an upset.
I got something. I'm gonna throw it at you.
You know what upset I'm gonna go with? I'm gonna take. Call me Homer. Just call me one. You can call me one now.
You are Homer Simpson.
I'm gonna take Woodson over Oakton.
It's a good pick. It's a good, solid, kind of underdog pick there. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm looking at some tough ones here. I'm gonna go, and you're gonna say, call me a cheater. But no, this is an underdog. I'm gonna go with Centerville upsetting Fairfax.
You think Centerville's? That's a pick 'em. I think that's a pick 'em.
If I say it's my underdog pick, then you can't take that away from me, all right, buddy?
I think that's a pick 'em.
I think no one would have said that was a pick 'em a week ago. There's no way anyone would have said that. If Fairfax would have beaten Oakton, everyone says, "Oh man, they're going to beat Centerville." It's a young quarterback at Centerville, but no, you can't take that away from me. Now, I still think Fairfax is a team to be reckoned with. I still think Fairfax is legit. We're early in the season. Remember how Fairfax a year ago lost to South County by like 30 points in the regular season?
Yeah, it might have been by 50.
Maybe, and they came back and won by a whole bunch later in the season when they rematched them. So, even if this were my upset is to happen, because who was my dark horse in Patriot, if you remember correctly?
Who was it? That's not a dark horse.
It was Fairfax, my dark horse.
They were in the region final. Oh, dark horse.
You can't take this away from me, buddy. All right, I am Nostradamus making the predictions. I should have worn
Are the Kansas City Chiefs your dark horse in the NFL? Is that?
I hate the Chiefs. All right. All right, buddy. Well, it's going to be fun. I can't wait to break these games down with you over the weekend.
Yeah, and if you're still listening, Give us your upset of the week.
Yeah, I like it.
Comment who your upset of the week is, but no one other than maybe Coach McClure over at Garfield. Maybe our principal. Maybe our principal's still listening.
Yeah, Principal Greta loves.
He
all these
does.
podcasts. We appreciate that. That's-
Anyone else? Anyone else you can think of might be still listening?
Coach Craig at Woodson, because he likes
Coach
mustard.
Craig. Oh, Mr. Stump.
Yeah, Mr. Stump. Mr. Stump. Best PA announcer in the business right there, buddy.
You know who's not listening?
Right.
My wife.
Yes, your wife is saying, get to bed. I can hear you all the way up here. Go to bed.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, see you next time. Everyone out there, see you guys next time on All Hitches.
See ya.